Morning. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the 10th grade MCA reading test. I'm first going to go over the quick schedule that I have up here on the Word document. Then I'm going to go over and show you a little bit about the online item sampler. So this is going to be the computer version and uh, and kind of give you an update on what to look for and some of the new test type of questions that are out there. First of all, March 29th today, extended SSR, intro to the MCA reading test. So this test video and then there's a handout in the testing bin that Kathy Holohan put together, which describes the MCA reading test in quite detail, what to expect, what type of test is it, where are some of the testing questions coming from, and what types of questions are going to be on there. So read through it. She has some bold highlighted stuff, and make sure that you understand kind of what you're prepping yourself for coming up on April 19th. So definitely take a look at that handout. April 4th and April 11th are extended SSRs on Monday, and what we're doing there is we're doing test prep. So your teacher has non-computerized versions. They have paper versions of either a sample test or maybe something that would be practice, and they're going to go over some of those, have you answer some questions, take a look at them, then debrief or discuss with them afterwards and go over some of the answers. Just to start getting you thinking about some of the reading comprehension, the English pieces to it, and take a look at it. Kind of just generating some ideas and some thoughts. April 18th, extended SSR, Pearson testing video. So what we're doing there is there's a test video to show you the tools and how to enter the test, how to exit the test, and how to submit it at the very end. And that has to be shown. We're going to do it the day before the test, so that's going to be the extended SSR. I think it's about a 10 to 15 minute video, and it describes in detail how the test works on the computer. And it's been a year or two since you've taken a computer test, so that'll be a good refresher. Plus, this Pearson Access Next is the actual testing software that we're using, and that is brand new. Came out in January, so buttons and how it looks and everything is going to be a little bit new. I'm going to go over some of that today and kind of show you a few general things, but when it comes down to some of the tools that you can use, then you're really going to want to look on the 18th and watch that video. April 19th, test day. All testing is in the morning. Lab 1, 2, business lab, rooms 306, 304. They're going to be science rooms. I'm not sure which ones exactly, but we are going to use some of the science rooms along with the labs. Once the bell rings at 8:10, we want you to go to the room that you're going to be assigned. You'll probably get that assignment somewhere right around the 11th or the 18th. It's going to be very simple, probably either alphabetically or by SSR. And you're going to go to your testing room. You're going to work on it. You're going to get about 3 hours in the morning. You don't have to finish it within the 3 hours, but many of you, or almost all of you, will. Many people don't even take. I'm guessing the MCA reading test in the past, remember it's a new product this year, but in the past about 2 hours is probably average or so. And if you finish early, not a big deal. We're going to put you in the commons and also the gym and let you kind of relax a little bit. And if you don't finish, we'll just have you exit your test at a certain place, and then what we'll do is we'll probably call you back later in the week and finish it up. So it's not a big deal. It's an MCA test. It's not an ACT test or anything like that. So it's not timed. You get as much time as you possibly want. So I want to show you the item sampler. The item sampler is a product that they put out that shows you kind of what the test is going to be like. And so what I really want to do is I want to focus on the types of questions that are out there, not really about the product and about how to navigate it. I'm going to go over some general things, but not too many. So as you enter the test, of course, what you'll have is a code of conduct saying that you're not going to cheat, you're not going to do that, you're not going to tell others answers and go from there. Navigation, the left and right arrows are actually the forward and back for the test questions. Reviewing, if you want to go back to a specific question that I want to review, I can do that. And bookmark, if you remember, I think the last time you took a test, it was called flagging or flag. You could flag a question for later. Well, you can bookmark it for later. It's the same thing. So if you're looking at a question, you're just not sure about one of the answers, you could bookmark it and go back, and then you could see that in the review. Guest up here, your name will actually appear to make sure that it's your test. So at the very beginning, every section has a title page. So this is just telling me what I'm going to be reading about. And of course, your favorite and mine, the first one is a poem. So read this poem, answer the questions, and go from there. It's very simple. You do have to scroll down and up to see the whole poem, and This one actually has some footnotes, it looks like, down here. So make sure that you do that. Don't get cut short and say, oh, my poem ends at line 10 or 11 or something, when you should scroll down and make sure that you read the whole thing. Very simple. Question, pick an answer, go on to the next one. And I'm picking just random answers because I want to get to the end of this. I want to show you another section and not work through this as a test prep, just as a computer generated test. So that might ask you different questions about a certain word on a certain line. So make sure that you use the reference numbers over on the left-hand side. And like I said, I'm just answering whatever I want. Lines 8 and 9. So there again, you have to look at lines 8 and 9. Your typical A, B, C, D. And the reason why I'm doing that is trying to get to a question that is maybe a little bit different. So here, select 2. So these are highlighted when you select on them, and I need to select 2. So the reason I came up to at least this question is to make sure that you're reading the entire directions. That's very important because it's going to ask you on some of these different types of questions to either select 1, 2, 3, the one that's not. It might ask you some of those. So be careful. Traditional A, B, C, D, you're probably okay with, but some of the other types you might not be. So I go through, I spend 20 minutes looking at the poem, and at the end I also have this last number 11 question is a little bit different, where I need to kind of fill in the blanks, and it gives you options. So what do you think would be the best option? And you have to pick them to make it come up with some sense. And it's describing exactly in the poem where this should probably be. So different types of questions than maybe what you've seen in the past. So make sure that you're aware of that and you're just reading the directions and doing that. Now, once you get to the end of the section, it will tell me that there are 0 bookmarks and all the questions are answered. You want to make sure all the questions are answered, because if they're not, then of course it's a wrong answer. And if you have so many of those where you don't answer any questions, you will get an invalid score and it won't work. So make sure that you do answer all the questions and go back. Once you submit a section, you can't go back. It's going to tell you, can't go back, can't go back. So section 1 is done and I cannot go back and look at any of those answers anymore. So section 2 comes up with 9 questions and it's a different type. Now we're looking at some extinction, some rescuing of some animals, and you can see here that now we're in paragraph form and the paragraphs are numbered instead of the lines like we had before, and questions will be answered with A, B, C, D or something similar. So you can see that it is very similar to some of the tests that you've taken before, and this is what you should be expecting coming up on this test on April 19th. And like I said, so here you're actually picking. Remember, you're going to highlight them. So you can definitely read the instructions or directions and then go ahead and finish those up. So that's all I have for you today. What I do want you to do is make sure that you listen to the teacher when they hand out that sheet or that form. Make sure you take a look at where those questions are coming from, what types of questions there might be on that MCA reading test. And like I said, we're taking the test April 19th in the morning. So if you have any questions, you can always see me at lunch. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have on the MCA reading test. Thank you.